school holidays. How cool is that? Eric Clapton and Bruce on the way before 1. It's Mother of Two's 1.
Boy Female Rock Nation presents the Food Live.
Alright, what is going on, everyone? Here with a commentary for the bench press portion of this video, and I will be back later on with another commentary, but focusing on the bench press. So that first clip you saw was 85 kilos for 1 rep, and the aim for this workout was actually to try and hit that for 1 rep for 3 to 4 sets probably. Ideally 5, but I didn't think I would probably get all 5 anyway. Only got that 1, and that was a hell of a grinder, as I talk about a bit later in the video. So I pretty much left it there, and then I just dropped it to 80 kilos for the rest of my set. And now I only did 1 rep. I feel like I possibly could have made 2 reps with it. Went up pretty smoothly on each of these clips, but at the end of the day, without a spotter and without safety bars on the side of me, I have talked about before that, you know, I'd prefer without a spotter, and I still do, but I just wasn't willing to go for 2 reps. On this 5th set here, I probably wouldn't have got a 2nd rep, but on the others, I think I could have. Anyway, so doing my usual 1 rep and then drop to 70 for as many reps as possible, and then here on this last set, dropping to 60 for as many reps as possible. But anyway, that 85 kilos was a 1 rep max, so bench is going up, still looking for those 2 plates, which I will also talk about later on, and things are looking up, so that's going to end this portion of the commentary. I'll catch up with you guys later on. Saturday night, just getting some dinner ready, just the normal or the usual. I really am thinking like I need to try and change things up a little bit. I do look for things when I go to the supermarket, like try and find new foods that I think I could, you know, fit into my macros, and technically speaking, I could fit a whole bunch of stuff in, but obviously I still want to keep a lot of, fresh foods, like unprocessed stuff like chicken, fish, pasta, all of that kind of stuff, sweet potato, and so it's just about finding that balance. Today's workout was pretty good. You guys have already seen all of that footage. Managed to hit 85 kilos today, sort of. It was a pretty ugly rep, not gonna lie, but it was kind of like self-spotting with me pulling my butt off the bench like that, and I actually got to admit, like, I've watched the footage back. From what I can remember, it doesn't really look like I ever try and give up at one point, but when I got to about basically halfway through, I think it was before I put my butt back on the bench, I did consider giving up. I was like, man, I gotta rack this, gotta rack it, and then, I don't know, I got to a certain point. You get to a certain point in the bench press where I guess you know you can grind it out, and ground it out, so, you know, nothing, weight's not super heavy or anything, but progress is being made, so it's good, and hopefully all my other lifts keep going up as well, which they are at the moment. Going back to talking about my diet, I am also considering eating more, so upping my calories. They're just under 3,400 at the moment, so thinking about maybe making them like 3,400 exactly. My protein's already high enough. It's at 200 grams, and I like to be keeping my fats a bit lower. I did have my fats up at like 90 grams, and in the past I've had it 100, 110. I cut the fat back to 80 grams. If 80 grams is still fairly high, I think it's probably around 0.5, it's about 0.5 grams per pound of body weight, which is about right for the fat range. So that's going to stay the same as well. This is probably going on for ages. I told you guys that I can talk forever. 80 grams for fat, protein, so basically I've just gone through all of that to basically tell you guys that I'm thinking of upping my carbs to take me to 3,400 calories, which I think I would need about 10 more grams of carbs. So I might go to like 470, 475 grams of carbs. I didn't put on any weight last week. Tomorrow we've got a weigh-in, so we'll see if I put on weight this week. Apart from that, I better check my chicken, make sure it's not burning, and that's probably going to end today's footage, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. So weighed in this morning at 72.2 kilos, and so that's down 0.4 from last week. Just getting some breakfast ready here. Yeah, 72.2 down 0.4, which means, like I said last night, I probably will increase my carbs this week to like by about 10 grams. So up to like 470, 475, which really is a lot, but you know, I just want the weight to be going up consistently. I was also going to do cardio today, but I probably won't. And also, just talking about today's back and biceps, and I've said, I feel like this is like, I keep repeating this, but whenever I go to like do deadlifts, I think, well, I've said a few times that my back's kind of like, you know, a little bit sore, I guess. It's kind of like that again today, and pretty much I keep just doing deadlifts anyway, because I don't want to, you know, seem like I'm just saying, oh, I've got a sore back, so I'm not going to do deadlifts. But to be honest, I think that maybe that's why my back is still kind of like tweaked a little bit. My deadlift form isn't terrible, but I think there's probably my hips are shooting up a bit faster than the rest of my body, whereas it's supposed to be a straight pull. And so today I probably I'm not going to do deadlifts. What I might do from now on, sorry if that's my phone, what I'm probably going to do is deadlift every second back workout. So I'm going to try and get into like a workout system, which I'll tell you guys once I've finalised it again. But yeah, I'm probably going to do deadlifts every second back session, and I'm just going to stick to trying to increase my heavy reps, so probably no more than 3 reps. Anyway, I will see you guys at the gym. Alright, I am back with the second commentary of this video. So as I already explained, I decided not to do deadlifts for this back workout. So what I did instead was, for my heavy movement, I decided to stick with a T-bar row, and I was using 60 kilos in plates here. I don't count the bar, so I'm not sure if you're supposed to, because you're not really lifting the whole bar, but yeah, so 60 kilos in plates. It kind of looks like, I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but it looks like I'm kind of on an angle for these reps. Looks like I'm leaning towards my left and towards the right of these clips, so that's a bit weird. Moved on to some heavy bicep curls now, or these are more like cheat curls. I do get a bit of a sway moving forward. The first rep wasn't too bad, but in the next two, to grind out 3 total reps, I do get a bit of a sway going, but I try to keep a neutral spine at the top of the movement, so I don't use my back to bring it up too much. And yeah, did 5 sets of 3 there, really trying to get my arms to grow and going slow on the negative. Moved on to some seated cable rows, which are pretty much always a staple in my back routine. Tried to stick to semi-high volume here, just going for sets ranging from about 9 to 12. Then moved on to some one-arm dumbbell rows. I haven't done these for ages, but these felt really, really good, so I might start incorporating them more often again. And you'll notice that I'm not just bringing the dumbbell straight up, I'm kind of bringing it in front of my body and then pulling it back towards my hip to maximize that lat engagement. So if you haven't tried doing it that way, make sure you try that out. And finished with some hammer curls. I did also do some cable curls, shrugs, and some lat pull downs. Didn't want this video to go too long though. So with all that being said, that's going to end this commentary and end this video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.